Walking away from someone you care about is really tough to do. But staying with the wrong person just because they accept that you have herpes is what I like to call the scarcity trap. It's a mindset that tricks you into thinking that you should be grateful for whatever you can get. And that will suck the life out of you in a totally different way. You may tell yourself, well, at least they want me. But let's be honest. It's not love keeping you there. It's fear. Fear of being alone and fear that no one else will want you. But holding on to someone who isn't right for you doesn't protect you. It actually prevents you from having the life you know deep down you want and deserve. Because choosing what's actually right for you, as hard as it may seem, is when you finally stop settling and start knowing your worth. Hi, I'm Dupree, and I help people to navigate life with herpes. If this is your first time listening to the Herpes Wellness Podcast, I'd like to welcome you. And if you're returning, welcome back. I am so glad you're here because today's episode is about something most people avoid talking about: knowing when it's time to go. Maybe you've been in a relationship that doesn't feel right, but you're scared to leave because you believe that no one else will want you. And trust me, I've been there. But the thing is, staying in a relationship just because you feel that you'll never find love is a form of self-abandonment. And what I learned is that when you start choosing yourself instead of settling for comfort, everything in your life begins to change in ways you'd never expect. After my diagnosis, I fell into the scarcity trap. You know, the one where you believe that the only chance of finding love is by dating people like us, and that anyone outside of our fishbowl is completely off limits. And because of the scarcity trap, I literally clung on to anyone who showed interest in dating me, like a piece of saran wrap, as if they were the only one and only shot that I'd ever have at finding love, acceptance, and of course, being intimate again. Maybe you've been there too. You know, you meet someone and even though the connection doesn't quite feel right, you hang on for dear life because you're terrified you won't find someone else. This is what confusing attention with connection looks like. You say to yourself, well, at least they accept me, while completely ignoring the fact that deep down, you know something's totally off. That's what the scarcity trap does. It messes with your ability to make informed decisions. It tells you that having someone is better than being single, even if that someone isn't what you want, or worse, isn't treating you the way you deserve. But here's what I learned the hard way. When you believe your value depends on being chosen, you stop choosing yourself. And when you stop choosing yourself, you wind up settling. Look, after I received my diagnosis, my self-esteem went flying out the window. I no longer felt good about myself on the inside, so I started to look outside of myself to feel good instead. I literally wanted and needed someone to make me feel lovable again because I didn't believe I was lovable anymore. I figured if they accept me, then maybe I can finally accept myself. But you know where that leads? Down a dead end road, that's where. Because when you rely on someone else to make you feel worthy, you're allowing them to dictate your worth. Not only that, their attention, it becomes almost like a drug, like something you can't live without, as if you need it to feel like yourself again. You start accepting less than you deserve, like someone breadcrumbing you or love bombing you, which, by the way, are both serious red flags. And you allow those things to happen because you feel you're not worthy of something better. And then when that person pulls away, you feel totally empty inside. But here's the thing. You can't fill some void inside you with someone's validation. And that's whether you have herpes or not, by the way. But when you stop chasing people who make you question your worth and you start giving yourself the love and attention you deserve, then letting go of someone who's not right for you stops feeling like a loss and starts feeling like freedom. You know, for a long time, I thought that being a good partner meant being understanding, and I kind of prided myself on being patient, forgiving, and accepting. But there's a fine line between being understanding and being a doormat. And I crossed that line more than once. I told myself things like, nobody's perfect, or every relationship takes work and time, all the while ignoring all the red flags and the fact that I wasn't happy. Instead of paying attention to how I really felt, I kept shrinking myself to make things work that were never meant to. But here's the truth. You get what you tolerate. For example, if you tolerate being disrespected, that's what you'll keep getting. If you tolerate crumbs of affection, you'll never get the entire meal. And if you keep accepting less than you deserve, life will keep handing you almost. This is where acceptance and alignment come into play. You see, acceptance is seeing someone for who they are and putting up with things that you may not have before your diagnosis. But alignment, that's about asking yourself, does this person fit into what I want with my life? Not, oh, how should I change myself to fit into their life because they accept me in my condition? I mean, have you ever been around someone, like it doesn't matter who it is, where things just flowed between the two of you, where you didn't have to force anything? But when you did, you felt this constant uneasiness, like as if you were walking on eggshells, second guessing everything and pretending everything's fine when you know damn well it isn't. Well, that's tolerance. Because if you have to abandon your wants and your dreams and your desires to be in any relationship, then that's not the relationship for you, whether you have herpes or not. Take it from me, someone who knows this all too well. I kept shrinking myself to make things work that were never meant to, and maybe you've done that too. You stay in a relationship because you don't want to hurt someone or because you feel it's the right thing to do. Or maybe you stay because the thought of starting over is both exhausting and terrifying, especially because you'll now have to share your herpes diagnosis with people all over again and face all the things that could come with that. But here's what I finally learned. You can love someone and still know they're not right for you. You can care deeply and still choose to walk away. Because staying in something that you feel trapped in because of your condition isn't love. And it definitely isn't healthy. Now, here's the thing. Ending a relationship and choosing yourself over comfort isn't easy. It's not like you wake up one morning and you say to yourself, yep, it's time to go. I'm out of here. No. The decision actually comes after you've tried everything. After the talks, after the tears, and the hope that things would somehow change. You hold on because part of you still believes in the potential of what could really be, not the reality of what is. When I received my diagnosis, which was shortly after my long-term relationship ended, I literally thought about going back to my ex more times than I can count. Even though I knew we broke up for many reasons, part of me still believed it was my only option. I truly believed that no one would want me and that my best shot of what I thought was love was gone. But at the end of the day, I had a choice. I could either go back to what I knew, to what wasn't working, and be unhappy, or I could move forward and face my new reality and fears. The thing about comfort, it's easy to mistake it for safety. Something that's comfortable and familiar feels like stability until you realize it's the very thing keeping you stuck. It keeps you from growing, and you can't grow unless you get out of your comfort zone. And trust me when I tell you, if it's time to walk away, you'll feel it. There will be that like little voice inside of you that says, I'm done fighting for something that doesn't fight for me. And by the way, choosing yourself and your happiness over someone else's isn't selfish. It's brave. And walking away from a relationship that no longer serves you, especially when you have herpes, takes a ton of courage. It also means that you love yourself, you know your worth, and that you're not willing to tolerate less than because of your condition. And that's something you can feel damn good about. So, if there's anything I'd like you to take away from this episode, it's these 4 things. Number 1, you can't build real love from fear. If you're staying just because someone accepts you, then that's not love, that's settling. 2, you don't need anyone to prove your worth. That's something that you decide for yourself. 3, you get what you tolerate. When you stop accepting less than you deserve, your whole life starts to change. And 4, choosing yourself over comfort doesn't make you selfish. It makes you free. Well, that's all I have for today. If you liked today's episode, please like and subscribe to the channel. Also, I want to invite you to join our free online community by downloading the Herpes Wellness app. There you'll have free access to our forums where you can ask questions, seek advice, and help other members along their journeys. And for a limited time, anyone who signs up for the free support membership, we're going to upgrade you to the Connection membership, which includes access to a bunch of really cool features, such as a listing in our member directory and member search, direct messaging with other members, a group and Love Connection chat lounge, member-led events, both virtual and in person, plus monthly live streams with me where we talk about everything herpes. Normally, this membership is $19 a month, but you'll get this access for free for as long as you remain a member. And if you're wondering about privacy, we've got you totally covered. The app icon and push notifications say H Wellness. So if someone happens to see your screen, you won't disclose your status unintentionally. So be sure to join us at Herpes Wellness. The link to download the app for both the App Store and Google Play is in the description box below. And if there are any herpes topics you'd like for me to discuss on this show, please leave it in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again so much for tuning in, and I will see you the next time on the Herpes Wellness Podcast. Bye for now.